Hello. Welcome to another Today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. Today is May 13th, and here are all the dates that really rate. Dewey Phillips, born this day 1926. Big fan of Dewey Phillips. He was a rock and roll radio disc jockey / host in Memphis, doing a show called Red Hot and Blue in the late 40s and early 50s, at a time when this could have gotten him in a lot of trouble. Career suicide and physically hurt or worse. That's to say, this is before the civil rights movement. He's a white guy who is broadcasting and championing African-American rhythm and blues music. And think about this as well, like, you aren't allowed to go into venues of like mixed race venues or something like that didn't exist, right? You've got like blacks only, whites only. You could have black performers at some venues and only white audiences or black audiences, but in the back or whatever. What is the great equalizer here? And also from a financial standpoint, you just can't afford anything, and so you're not going to be able to go out and buy the record. So what's the great equalizer here is the radio. Not everybody, but plenty of people had radios back then. This was like, the television of its day. So you could listen to this from home and soak it all in and get inspired, and like that's why things continue, really, is people like Dewey Phillips. That's why rock and roll exists, is people like Dewey Phillips. Even more so because he's somebody who at the time, this was not socially acceptable for white people to publicly embrace and champion the work and the talent of black people in America. And he was doing it because he knew he was right. And I love that about life. Not to say that we are certainly in a better place now, but the people who are wonderful champions back then shine that much brighter because of the adversity they faced on a regular basis. So Dewey Phillips, on his birthday, May 13th, you can find his radio shows on YouTube. There are probably other places as well, but yeah, definitely on YouTube. And it's great. It's just this energy that I love. The Werewolf of London premiered this in 1935. This is a Universal Monsters picture. This is the werewolf with the smoking jacket, who is super cool and suave, played by Henry Hull, who was made up by Jack Pierce, the Universal Monster makeup artist who also did, like Frankenstein's monster and the Mummy and like all sorts. Henry Hull's relative is Cortlandt Hull. I think he's his nephew. I could be wrong about that. I think that's right. Cortlandt Hull runs a classic monster wax museum out of a shed in his parents' backyard, as he has since 1966. It's like a beautiful piece of roadside Americana. It's got full-size figures of the Werewolf of London, as well as Dracula, Frankenstein monster, plenty more. It's only open on weekends in October. It wasn't open this past year because of COVID, because, it was the Halloween that didn't exist. And a couple of years ago, he actually moved it, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, he moved it to the Bristol Historical Society rather than the shed in his parents' backyard. Which I'm kind of torn on which is better, which is worse, I don't know. There was something really beautiful about the shed in his parents' backyard. But then at the same time, the Bristol Historical Society is this old Victorian building, and he has a lot more space to display all of his collection. So you're able to spend a lot more time there and really soak it all in. So maybe this year we can do that. That'd be nice. I'd really, really like something to look forward to, and I feel like maybe we're just getting there. What else? Marilyn Munster. Beverly Owen was born... Marilyn Munster was born on this day in 1937. Beverly Owen. She was the first Marilyn Munster for the first 13 episodes of season 1. Richie Valens, born this day in 1941. Love Richie Valens. And on this day in 1987, Hellraiser first appeared on screens across the globe. So there you go. It's the whole day for you to soak in and appreciate things that happen today throughout space and time. What's next for you? Is it grim death because this is going to be the first Today's Decay piece of merch. This on a t-shirt. Should you want it, I need to know. We're going to be taking pre-orders. This is a mid-30s horror anthology as put together by Christine Campbell Thompson. And it's part of the Not at Night series, which I think is so cool. And I love this image here. And it's her birthday at the end of the month. So I felt like, considering yesterday was the day that we like lapped ourselves on doing this for the whole year, we should celebrate by making something out of it, right? That'll be this. So do you want Grim Death? Because it's waiting for you. Are you waiting for it? Let me know. You know, write me or something. We'll talk. All right. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.